Guys, today I'm going to show you how to make my matcha energy bites. So the first thing you're going to need is some dates. If your dates are not soft and squishy, then you might want to soak them in some hot water. Mine are, and mine are pitted. If yours have pits, make sure you remove those pits. Now my dates are quite small, so I'm going to be using about 20 of these guys right here. Alright, I went ahead and plucked all of these guys in the food processor. We're going to go ahead and blitz this up a little bit to get them to break down. So now we have a very interesting date ball in here. Now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our liquid ingredients. I'm going to be adding 1/4 cup of tahini. A 1/4 cup of liquid sweetener of choice. I'm using a sugar-free syrup. Now you're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to be using this bourbon vanilla bean paste because that's what I have. Now we're going to pop the lid back on and blend this up again. Alright, and everything looks well incorporated. So now we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to add 5 teaspoons of matcha powder to this. I know that sounds like a lot, but these are matcha energy bites. Now we're going to blend this up again. And you're going to want to keep scraping down the sides until everything's well incorporated. Now we're going to add our binder. I'm going to be using almond flour today. You could use oats or oat flour if you'd prefer. We're going to start with 1/3 cup. And then after that, we're going to check and see the consistency. We want it to be able to mold together into a ball and stay that shape. I'm going to add another 1/3 cup of almond flour because depending on how liquidy your liquid sweetener is or your tahini is, that will vary a lot. That's why I'm only adding 1/3 cup at a time. So it was precisely 2 cups of almond flour is what I needed today to get the right consistency. It is sticky, but it will get firmer because we are going to put it in the fridge. So now is the fun part. You can use a tablespoon measure or you can use a scoopy boy. And we're going to coat these in different toppings. So you can coat this in maybe some crushed almonds or pistachios or shredded coconut or maybe even chocolate if you want to melt some chocolate and do that. I also have some dehydrated strawberries that I'm going to crush up and roll them on that as well. Alright, so I just had some dehydrated strawberry chips. I just ground them down. You could use like a spice grinder, coffee grinder. You could blend it in a food processor. I literally just used a mason jar and crushed it. Or you could use a mortar and pestle too if you are fancy and have one of those. So I took a scoop of dough with that. I'm going to roll it into a ball and then coat it in. Look at that. It looks like it's some kind of, I'm not sure. I don't know if it looks more like a hot Cheeto dust or some kind of freeze-dried candy, but that is one of the matcha balls. Now we're going to try some chopped up pistachios. Oh, don't those look good? Now we're going to do some coconut. And here they are, guys. So yeah, it makes roughly 10 balls. But yeah, you can, like I said, you can decorate these however you want. I did mostly coconut shreds because I have a lot of coconut shreds to use up. But these are all flavors. Like, you basically want to pair it with flavors that you think are good with matcha. So, and you basically are going to store these in the fridge. You can eat them right away, but I prefer to wait a couple of hours until they firm up a little bit more. But these are the best little, like, sweet energy boost that you're going to need when you're in that midday slump trying to get through the rest of the day. These are just so perfect. If you love matcha, you're going to love these.